All right. Hopefully, see as we are recording. So hopefully this is good. Let's see your settings, microphone, speaker, camera. Oh, that's why ultra wide. And we don't need the ultra wide on that one. I'm going here. Yeah. So hopefully, yeah. So I am once again. I'm gonna go visit my family in the Cayman Island. I leave on Sunday, and I just wanted to make sure this. I got a microphone. I got this earbuds here to work. I'm also using the iPad here. I will be bringing my laptop with me too, just to make sure. But I just wanted to see how the recording will be and making sure that the earbuds will be working. Also, I'm not too sure if you guys seen the update on the Deal and Dance Specialist. I was working on it last time I was in Cayman Island, and I had to. I had some issues with it. There was a couple of versions for the brain, so to speak, that I had to go through to not necessarily not bypass, but I was having issues with because how I want the day one dance specialist to have the injury protocol, the American College of Sports Medicine, National Academy of Sports Medicine, to make sure that if you had a frozen shoulder, a hip issue, ankle issue, lack of mobility, and to punch in. So, for example, let's say I was working with a client in person, and we were doing the video analysis, and after the fact, when I punched through the information, I was going to give a the prompt for you guys to use the Dylan Den at home on your own, and there was issues in regards to because the keywords were being flagged like injury and like protocol or injury and like prescription. It was too clinical to have as what's the word I'm looking for? It was pinpointing on injury stuff, right? So that's why I was having little issues with it. But now I'm using the latest version, and yeah, then it's working perfectly. It's working, more than anticipated. And yeah, you might have seen. I think when I was in Canada last time on the last video, it wasn't. It was a different version. So now the new version, way better, far more detailed, with the exercise protocol, and also too like on my end to punch in. So for example, like having the video analysis, punching that in, having my input, and then going through the specific exercise for the client, and then sending it so they can use it with the D1 dance specialist. And it's huge, right? So it is going to be, this is going to be a huge factor for the success factor or success rate, I should say, for you guys in the remote coaching aspect. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And I'm not sure where the camera, like I'm not used to this camera angle. I guess it's over here where the green light is. But it was, yeah, so I leave on Sunday, and my family's moving into they're moving, so we can help them, yeah, help them move. And then, of course, it's the dogs. Also, too, like, I was talking to a client in person, and she was saying, like, what? I was doing a quick demo in person of the Day One Specialist app and how the exercise. I said, frozen shoulder, I had issues with this history of, lack of mobility in the left shoulder, and how it gave a the 28-minute block. I changed it to 28 minutes. It was 21 minutes. Now I changed it. Also, too, I added in a after the workout. I added in another text box after the workout. You can say, for example, let's say, I want a 10-minute ab finisher. And you punch that in, give you that exercise, or you want some more stretching, or my low back felt my low back felt a little tweaked on the kettlebell swings. So can you please give me a stretching routine or mobility block for that. So I added that as well too for the specials app. I think what she was saying, like, like this is great. Like, you like the terms being used, like for example, cars controlled articular rotations, right? So like I know the general public may not know exactly what that is. So that's the whole point of having our school platform here is to make sure you guys answer or ask questions in the community. So for example, let's say, um, I was working on past history. I was working on another app that was supposed to be for the App Store, and it was video based with the exercises. And I spent freaking hours on hours and hours uploading, editing the videos, and then about to put it with the App Store at the time. But Apple, there were a requirement for this specific app. Basically, it was licensing an app, so I would jump on board with their app and the license from them. And then Apple, the iOS store, the App Store wanted a physical address to tie into the app itself, and I think it wanted a United States address. So that was a huge pain in the butt. I spent all those hours working on it, and then I couldn't even launch. So that for lessons learned going in with this, I do have certain exercises on on YouTube. There's thousands of them, but having the exercises for the day one dance specialist and what they're asking for, I can make that happen. I can upload that. But the key is making sure that with with the with the app itself, like or yeah, I guess it's web based app. So basically, it's not going to be in the app store. What I'm trying to say is from when I go to the Cayman Islands, I'll have time to go through the specialist app and what specific exercises that'll give me. I'll film a whole bunch of them, and just like how we would have, for the kickboxing combinations, you guys would get better at it by continually looking at the exercise description and knowing what it is. Like at the beginning, knowing what the front lunge, side lunge, curtsy lunge, or whatever, cross back lunge, and then having the videos up. I'll have the videos on YouTube and be unlisted, but on most of it, I definitely want to have it more on inside the school platform. So under the classroom, one of the classroom tabs, I'll have the exercise library. So I guess I'll have to do. I know like for the app itself, like I don't want to have video included with it just because I might have an issue of I might have an issue with it to put it inside. So I might just if right now it's working, I don't want to mess around anymore with the code. So I'll just keep it as is. I I don't want to say anything and take it away from you guys, but basically the school platform is meant to be for everyone to come through, have questions, have the group coaching, have the day one dance specialist, talking video coaching with me and the group, and then of course with the higher tier or for doing the video coaching itself is sending me the video of you doing overhead squat, plank, shoulder internal, external rotations, um, perhaps a single leg knee drive to hold for balance, an airplane, for example. Let's say I was working with a client in person and we're doing alternating leg airplanes. And I noticed when she was doing the single leg on her right side, her right knee was shaking a little bit. So now, if she would send me a video of her doing that exercise, I'll be able to see that and we can address it. And then, of course, for me, I can look at the exercise itself, uh, and then send the client or send you the exercise protocol and also the prompt to use for the day one day coach. So you have specific exercises to correct and strengthen that right knee stabilizing muscle. Okay, so there is that component to it. The camera, I'm gonna try to figure out how to look at the camera here, and yeah. So I'm so happy with with this app, and you guys may have seen. I was looking at just doing a SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and the Tom Brady is he is with I forgot the app itself, but they raised 100 million for their app to be developed, and now he's just I think he's partners with it. I think it's called the Future app. But anyways, yeah. So that's a lot of money to raise for it, right? And for me looking at it, again, it's video based. and it's video based. And once a week or once every 2 weeks, you touch base with the coach. And online, people are saying that they would get comfortable with a trainer, and then the trainer would leave, or they would move on or quit the app, and then the trainee, the client, would have to jump on board with another trainer and go through all the information again, and get the program design from the trainer, right? So, like, learning from that, learning from their mistake, and what I can do, what we can do inside the day one den school community, and also the specialist coach, making sure that we are seeing roadblocks and what's working in the fitness industry, and what I can do to make sure that we overlook, not overlook, that we see this as an obstacle, and I learn from that. I'm always doing what I can to learn to make sure that I give you guys the best there is. Excuse me, in fitness. But yeah, I just wanted to test out the iPad here. Well, I'll bring my laptop with me, and also the iPad, so I can touch base with you guys on the video coaching. Video coaching will be most likely. I'll probably just keep it for the time being. 12 p.m. Pacific time, so that'll be 2 o'clock, I believe, for Cayman Island. So Monday, we'll keep Mondays for the 7 day special or 7 day jumpstart. And then Wednesday and Friday will be, and also Wednesday and Friday will be the higher tiered, the premium and the VIP. And yeah, and then when I'm out there as well too, like there is the 7 day trial on the specialist app, so you can take a look at that, play with it, play around with it. Utilize that app for the 7 day jumpstart, or use it for the 7 day sync that we have in the classroom. I believe there's prompts in it already, and go through that, and get used to the exercises. It's instead of waiting for me to respond to you, you can use that app right away and have questions on it, copy and paste the workout, so you can keep it for yourself, that if you do enjoy it. Another thing too as well, that I had to update when I was working with it, as testing around. It was providing almost a similar workout, so you might see a large number of code, not code, but a large number, a sequence of numbers, and basically it's just showing that the brain is not using the same workout. So that's what that is. Okay, so there's the Fighter Fit X coding on there, and yeah, so I'll touch base. I leave this Sunday. It's March 24th, and I think I'm gone for 2 or 3 weeks. But I'll be out there. Let's touch base. Let's get people on board. Let's get the video group coaching happening. I'll mark it down in the calendar, and yeah, so come in and get that day one dance specialist app working for you guys. All right, bye.